G'day class. So this video is going to be all about how you go from your finished car design, which you can see on the screen here for me is just the my first car that meets the F1 in Schools regulations, and how you go from that finished car to the cam settings so that we can actually cut the car out using the milling machine. So as you can see, I've got my car up on the screen here, and I've just made a separate folder in my project, my first car project, or this might be your team car project. Mine says manufacture. Probably be a good idea to do that, and I've moved my final car into that folder using the right click of the vehicle and then move. So I've been able to move it into a separate folder. There's another file here which is called the regulation body, and I've just got the body in there, and you can see I've made a little change to the front of the car, and we're going to talk about why I've done that in a minute. But to start with, what we'll do is I'm going to show you where you need to go to get certain things for getting the cam stuff all going so that you can actually get the code produced. So for starters, up on Daymap, there's a couple of places where you can get it. You can see in the lesson for this week we have, or in the lesson we've got the curriculum / subject areas / technology / F1 in school / car parts / manufacturer sample .f3z. That particular file location is on our curriculum drive at school, and you can copy the file out of that folder into your personal folder on the computer, or you can go and download it from Daymap if it will let you. I know some people have had trouble with this, so give that a shot, or try this up here. Once you have downloaded that, we'll need to go back into Fusion 360, and we're going to upload that file into the folder that we're currently using. So I'll click the upload button there and select files. Now in my case I have it just on my desktop of my computer here, and where is it? There we go. No, that's not it. Manufacturer sample.f3z. So that one there, I've got it there. I'm just going to click open, and there's the file there, and I'll click upload, and that should upload it straight into the folder that I'm currently using. It shouldn't take too long to do this for you, and what's going to happen here is that a number of different parts that are necessary for producing the cam code are going to upload into that folder, and these are various parts of the machine. So when we put it in the milling machine, there's the fixture spigot here, there's obviously the balsa stock that we cut the car out of. We have the fixture which is at the front of the machine, which our balsa block gets held in. This one here has this extra file called cam program placeholder model. Don't need to worry too much about that. And then down the bottom here we have the manufacturer sample file, which puts all these different parts together so that we can figure out the cam for our car. So we'll just press close on that because it's now uploaded everything. And we're just going to talk about why I've done that to the front of my car with that kind of block sticking out. To talk about that, I'm just going to start by opening this manufacturer sample file. So I'm going to double click that. That should open up fairly quickly. Just wait a moment for it to. So you can see here it's gone straight into the cam part of it. I'm just going to change that back to model rather than having it in cam at this point, because there is this part in the middle here, which is the cam program placeholder model, which I don't actually need. But we will talk about what we're seeing here. So overall here we've got what our material would look like if we put it into the milling machine. So if I click on the right hand view here, you can see that, let's imagine this is the car here. Out the front of this there is kind of a round section that's been put onto this one, which goes past these planes that have been added in, and that's quite important that it comes out past them. And if we do a quick measure from the front here to the back, we can see that it is 205 millimeters in distance. So that gives you an idea of the fact that we need our, whatever this part is here, this little extension I suppose, we need it to come out a little bit past that 200 millimeter line. So depending on the length of your car, will change how far this comes out. Now, In the case of our car, we've got to import it into this environment. Now, first off, I'm going to remove the CAM program placeholder file from this. So I'm going to right click it and click delete, and that'll remove it from the file. So I'll be able to put my car into that very soon. Now, to get to the point where you can do that, it's best to come in here to your finished car with the wheels, the grommets, etc. on it. And we're going to go ahead and remove the wheels and the grommets. So if we skip back to just there where we've combined the car, you can see that's the finished car, and we're just going to add something in at this point in the modelling process. Of course, I've come along my timeline. I've just come after combine, my total car is finished, and after that is only the addition of the wheels and the grommets. So I'm going to add in that, I suppose, spigot would be as good a word to call it, out the front of my car. To do that, I need to start off with a new plane. So I'm going to select as an offset plane from the back of the car here. I'm going to pull that forward so that it's in front of my front axle hole. So just there is where I'm going to leave mine. Click OK. So I've got this extra plane in here now that I can work with. And I'm going to create a sketch on that plane. So you can see I'm now looking at a sketch on that plane. And I'm going to, in my case, I'm going to use a rectangle for mine. You could use a circle. It will honestly depend on what the front end of your car looks like as to what's going to be most appropriate here. So I've added that square in. I'm now going to dimension it. So I think I'll give a dimension between the two sides of it. We'll make mine 20 millimeters. And then top to bottom, we'll go with, let's go with 12 millimeters for something different. And finally, we're just going to give it a position. So from the sense point there, I'll make it 10 millimeters that way. And this line here, we'll go with 12 millimeters, I think. All right, so I have that fully defined sketch of that rectangle there, which I'm now going to extrude out. So I'll change my view back to that top corner, pick the extrude tool, select that face, and I'm going to pull it out. And we know that in front of the car, we do need it to come a little bit further. So at the moment, that's 45 millimeters. I'm going to pull mine out to 60 millimeters. And at the moment, you can see that's cutting a great hole through it. So I'm just going to change that to join, right, because I want to join this on. And perhaps we'll go even further. Let's make it 65. That way we know for sure that we'll be perfectly fine within our CAM file. So there we go. I've added that on. I'm going to click OK. All right, and that's the body as I'm going to add it into the CAM file. Now at this point here, what would be best to do is save this particular item as a separate file. So use your file save as in the menu. And I'm going to save this one as, I'm going to call mine MFC, you might call it Team Car Manufacture. And that's going to be a separate file within that folder. It will come up just here in a moment. There we go, so MFC-manufacture. And I'm going to import that particular file into my manufacture sample in a minute. Before I do that, I am going to go ahead and delete all of the wheels, etc. out of this file now that I've made a separate one, because I no longer need all that. So we'll just open that one up now that I've saved it. It'll probably take a couple of minutes to open. Oh no, we're already in it. Don't need to open it. So all these parts here, I'm going to go ahead and delete all of them. So I've just selected the first one. I'm going to hold Shift and select the last one, right click and delete. So I've deleted all the wheels and the grommets from this file. Now remembering this is a separate file, not your finished car with the wheels and grommets. This is a separate file. So there we go. I have my car ready to go into the manufacturing model there, this one here, manufacture sample, so that I can start getting the CAM settings correct for it. This video will stop here and pick it up in the next video. Thanks for watching.